Good. Welcome everybody who came in late, and here's another one that's coming in late. Just let them in as well. So I did the breakthrough by design numerous times, and what I found was that it provided huge benefits for those agents that took the breakthrough by design tools offered and ran with them. Now, here's what I'll say right from the beginning to be full disclosure and totally open about what I found with this training. If you attend the training and you decide not to act on the training, the tools that are provided to you, and the ideas that are given to you, it's very likely that you're not going to see any success, and that this may be a huge waste of your time. And I don't want anyone to waste their time with being me or listening to Breakthrough by Design. So if you really want to make a change, if it's your goal to have a breakthrough in 2022, I would just say you need to be here, but you also need to act on the tools that are offered to you. In my time, in my 15 years of owning my exit office in Bend, I can tell you that 3 people in my office who really ran with this, and I mean really ran with it, ended up leaving my office and opening their own offices. They found huge success by using these tools and building their business using these tools. So just for full disclosure, if you're here just to see a pretty face, it's not going to work. If you want to put things into action, this is fabulous. And you're going to be provided over the next 10 weeks, things that maybe you've heard of, but you haven't thought deeply about. And of course, things that you have never heard of. I want to open first by telling you about who Tom Ferry is. And he has such a long resume. I'm only going to read a part of it. I'm surprised often that people in our business don't know who Tom Ferry is. They've never heard of him, they've never worked with him, and they don't know of him. That's nobody's fault. A lot of new agents, there'd be no reason for you just to think of Tom Ferry if you don't know who he is. But Tom Ferry, according to the Swample report, which is a huge data company in our real estate business, rated Tom Ferry #1 of the 200, the Swample 200 is what it's called, rating the top real estate agents, the top coaches, the top presenters, the top executives in the real estate business. So there's many good coaches. There's fabulous coaches. Mike is going to take us through Brian Buffini coaching, which is absolutely fabulous. And I don't know where Buffini stands with the Swample report. It matters not. I just want you to know that what you're going to be hearing is from the #1 rated real estate coach in our industry. He's the founder and the CEO of Tom Ferry International, and he's been coaching for over 20 years. He says that he's actually put in more than 30 hours of coaching experience, 30,000 hours of coaching experience. That's a lot of hours. And so what I find amusing from time to time as I'm thinking about Tom Ferry, I don't think he's ever sold a property in his life. I don't even know if he has a real estate license. But I can tell you he knows the business because he's immersed in it. And he's hired the very best coaches to surround him. You know, they say when you surround yourself with the best people, you're going to be a better leader. And Tom Ferry has done just that. He's very highly sought after. And I would ask you right now, as you're making some notes, I hope you were all able to download the Breakthrough by Design booklet. I'm going to bring it up here in just a minute so you can see it in the event that you didn't. But if you don't have something to take notes, please write down some notes that I think are going to be important to you. I wrote this down because I think this is important, and I'll read this to you very briefly. This is what, and I have this in my big booklet of Tom Ferry stuff. This is why Tom created this program. And see if it fits you. See if it's something that you're interested in. he wrote this program. He developed Breakthrough by Design and all of his courses to help you organize your business. If you need organization in your business, you might be in the right place. He built this to help guide you in creating more consistent and better marketing for your business. Consistent marketing is such a big thing. He created this to help you find lead generation tools that will aid you in building your business. And he created this to give you proven techniques that work in our real estate business. So if any of those things apply to you, you're in the right place. And so we're going to talk a lot about all of those right now. So for those of you, and there's someone else, I just have to admit into the room. For those of you that just got here, the reason I'm here in my daughter's home is because COVID protocols. And so I'm not in our main office because I don't want to create any issues for anyone. So I want to tell you a story. I got to read this one. This is one of my favorite stories that I heard from Tom Ferry. Okay, and I might not have to read it. This is a story of the shoe salesman. I don't know if you've heard this story before, but I think you can maybe apply it to you and your thinking of the real estate business. You know, I wrote down some numbers before we started. And the Frisco market, I was looking at the Frisco market this morning. Now, only because I'm going to be sitting there, you know, 3 days a week. And if somebody walks in the office, I kind of want to know a little bit about the market. And what I found in the Frisco market this year to date, there's been 4,206 closings in the Frisco market. So 4,206 agents, or maybe it's made up of fewer than that agents, some who do more than one transaction a year, 4,000 transactions. So if you're thinking that there's not enough business for you, just in Frisco, 4,206 transactions have happened year to date with an average price of $602,000. Now, I don't know if you know what you want to earn in your business. And if I have the chance to work with you one-on-one, we'll talk about what you need to earn and what you want to earn. I can tell you in the Frisco market, the average sale year to date is about $600,000, $602,994 average in the Frisco market. What that means when you break it down, in our office, and if the transactions are offering a 3% share to the buyer's agent of all those listings, a 3% share would give you a gross commission of $12,000. If it was a 2.5% share, it's going to be about $10,000 gross. So I want you to think about that in your business and where what you need to do to be successful in the business. Do you want to make $50,000? And by the way, in Collin County, the average in 2019, latest statistics show that the average income was like $40,600, something like that. Maybe that's what you want to earn in the real estate business. I'm guessing you want to earn more. Most people I have talked to over the last 15 years tell me a couple things. How much do you have to earn? And what they have to earn is usually around $40,000 to $50,000 a year. That's to pay for their car and pay for their house payment and pay for vacations and, you know, tuition for their kids' schools, whatever it might be. $40,000 to $50,000. And what most people want to make is $100,000 or more. Those may be your numbers, and I don't know. We can talk more about that. But what we're going to talk about is how to get you to $100,000 or more. As a matter of fact, people who are coached by Tom Ferry earn an average of $360,000 a year. Those are people that are coached by the Tom Ferry organization and who actually apply what the coach teaches them. Now, I am not here to sell Tom Ferry coaching. I am not here at all. I think that we can do enough in our office. And what Paul has been talking about with me and Mike and Bob McKinnon are ways to strengthen you and to offer you something that you could not find at any other office anywhere. And so we're bringing you tools to get you to the number if you want to get to that number. So here's a story about the shoe salesman. In the beginning of the 20th century, there was a shoe manufacturer in England, and the shoe manufacturer was coming up against competition, and actually shoe sales were going down. He was having a problem selling enough shoes. So he went to his leadership group and picked out two people, two of his best salesmen. And he said, I'm going to send you to Africa. I want you to go to Africa, and I want you to find two separate areas in which to market our shoes. And we want to grow and expand our market because it's shrinking where we are in England. So both salesmen got on a boat. They went to two different countries in Africa. They got to Africa. Within days of arriving, the first salesman called their boss, his boss, and said, boss, I've got a problem here. Everybody's barefoot. No one wears shoes. We're doomed. We're not going to be able to sell shoes in this country in Africa. The next day, the second salesman called the boss, and he said, boss, this is absolutely fantastic. No one here wears shoes. No one sells shoes. We have an opportunity to sell thousands of shoes in this market. The reason I tell you that story is because a lot of this has to do with attitude. If you don't believe you're going to be able to sell shoes, if you don't believe that you're going to be able to sell real estate and have the tools to sell real estate, then guess what? You probably won't. You probably won't sell any real estate. So today we're going to talk about some of the tools that you're going to be offered in the next 10 weeks. So today we're going to talk about, let me just do this. I've got to share my screen with you. So please let me know if everybody can see my screen once it comes up with a thumbs up or something. Great. Okay. I'm glad you can see my screen, and I am going to minimize you guys so I can focus on my screen. So today we're in session 1 of 10 sessions. And today we're going to be looking at these 8 things. We're going to be looking at the 4 sections of this program, how the 4 sections work. We're going to be talking about your breakthrough. We're going to be talking about Coach Tom Ferry, just a little bit. I've already told you a little bit about him, that he has, 30,000 hours of coaching experience. I don't know how many clients he has. It's in the thousands. He has a highly successful company. We're going to talk about the tools you will receive. I want to tell you just a little bit about the tools you will receive. Know that what I'm presenting to you is the typical presentation that Tom Ferry presents. And in the Tom Ferry presentation, which is a paid presentation, Tom Ferry offers tools that I'm not going to be able to offer. I have all of his tools and I will share them with you, but they won't be specific to what might be on these sheets. And I'll correct it when we get to those places. We're going to be talking about the glass ceiling. You've all heard, that real estate does not have a glass ceiling. If you've been in other businesses, if you currently are in another business, you know that what you can earn many times is dictated by your hourly wage, by what you're getting paid. So we're going to be talking about shattering your glass ceiling, because the fact is, this is all dependent on you, and there is no glass ceiling. We're going to talk about the secret weapons of success. We're going to talk about specific actions to grow your business with an assignment that we'll have at the end of each of our presentations every single week. And we're going to talk about planning. So the outcome is to understand Tom's mission and breakthrough by design. That is what we're hoping for. I am hoping that you'll be able to shatter that glass ceiling, whatever that is for you. We're going to learn how to get the most out of this program. And I'm going to work diligently to do my very best to help you get the most out of this program. And we're going to gain tools for your success, no doubt. Tom Ferry says a breakthrough is growing to the next level. So everyone, my goal here is to help you get to the next level if that's what you really want to do. So let's talk about the 4 sections of the program that we talked about at number 1. Let's talk about the 4 sections. And so the sections are in session. So today and next week, we're going to be talking about setting up your business for success. We're going to be talking about starting your breakthrough and designing your breakthrough. We're going to be looking at your finances. We're going to be looking at your numbers. We're going to be looking how to get you focused in your business. And we're going to get you into action. Those are sessions week 1, week 2. Sessions 3 through 7 are 5 weeks. And they're 5 weeks to work on marketing and lead generation to create more success. So we're going to also be looking at your finances, all that will be in that as well. But we're going to be taking you and talking about your database. You know that Paul provides Boomtown for all of us. It's an amazing place. It's an amazing site, and it's an amazing system. That's one of the lead generation tools that you already have that maybe you aren't optimizing. And I will ask Paul to come in and tell you more about Boomtown when we get to that series. Sessions 8 through 9, we're going to 8 and 9, excuse me, are getting a clear picture of the newest tools that work with buyers and sellers today. And I can tell you, those through 3 through 7, besides the database, we're going to be talking about online marketing. And number 5, we're going to be talking about the mega open house. We're going to be talking about how you can do an open house, unlike anything that you've likely seen anywhere in Texas. We're also going to be talking about your geographic farm. I am huge with geographic farms. I'm working a little bit with Kim, and we've talked about her geographic farm. She is working on it right now. She's going to do great things with her farm. I know it if she sees it through. And number 7, we're going to convert leads to appointments. That is huge. You can have all the leads you want, but if you're not able to convert them, you've got a problem. Then when we get to sessions 8 and 9, backtracking, I'm sorry, we're going to be looking at the 4-step buyer process, how to get appointments, and we're going to get a clear picture of the tools. Then session 10, the last week, we're going to be talking about you, and we're going to be talking about your breakthrough. And hopefully there will be a lot of input when we get to these sessions, and especially if you're able to come into the office with Mike or into the office in Frisco and get a lot of interaction. So here are the keys to breakthrough. And if you don't have the sheet, again, write these things down. It's hugely important. Number 1 is having confidence in yourself, having confidence in myself. Okay, so do you have the confidence to be successful in the business? I found that in order to have the confidence, you need to have competence. So for confidence, you need competence. And that's why we're here today and for the next week, 10 weeks, to help you build competence in your business. Number 2 is improving your selling skills. So tell me, why would anybody work with you? I don't mean this to be demeaning to you. I just want you to think about it. What makes you so special or good at what you do that people would want to work with you? What do you offer anyone? Do you know what to say? Tell me about your presentation. If I asked you today to show me your listing presentation, your buyer's presentation, any other kind of presentation that we will be talking about building in your business, tell me, could you improve that presentation? If you did the presentation to me, would I be apt to want to work with you? What do you do that would make me want to work with you as opposed to another agent. Number 3, scheduling the number of appointments I want. And do you know what that number might be? Again, do you know how much you want to earn in 2022? Are you putting together the plan for 2022? And do you know how your numbers correlate with the number of appointments that you need to schedule in order to be successful? So how many appointments do you want? Number 4 is becoming organized and finishing more projects. I got to tell you, I am good at organizing. I lack sometimes to finish more projects. It's just the truth. I wrote a book and published it in 2019. It took me 10 years to write it. I'm thinking that's because I just couldn't finish the project the way I should have. So could you do more in the business and be more organized? I know that each of you are going to say yes. You're going to give me a thumbs up because all of you, all of us can become more organized and finish more projects. And then we're going to talk about income earned. So it's about showing me the money. What breakthrough do you need? And so as you see this list, circle the one that is most important to you. Do you need confidence? Do you need to improve the skills? Do you need to schedule more appointments? Do you need to become organized and finish more products? Do you want to make income? Do you know what that number is? My guess is all of you are looking at this thinking, I can circle all 5. I know that because I've done this enough, and that's what I would do. I would circle all 5. And that's what we're going to work with. And that's what we're going to create as we go through Breakthrough, if you stick with me and if we go through this 10 weeks together. Okay, so a little bit about Tom Ferry. Of course, he's been in the business for 2.5 decades. And so what Tom teaches is the science of success. You know, there is a science to this. It isn't just about luck. It isn't about throwing a coin up in the air and hoping it lands on whatever you called heads or tails. Tom has simplified the science of growing your business and your income. So here's what we're going to do. Number 1, we're going to add sources of business. We're going to talk about at least 12 to 20 sources of business. And so we're going to add more sources of business. You know, agents who do one specific kind of business are probably struggling. Not all. There are some super experts in one part of business. So some people just do expired listings. That's their goal. They focus on expired. Some will focus on for sale by owners. Some people will focus on buyers. Some will with listings. There's so many different kinds of business we can do. So we're going to add sources of your business. Our goal is going to help you focus on 3 to 4 types of business. Okay. Number 2, we're going to learn to convert on your leads. You know, in real estate, sometimes I find it funny, you know, when I've worked with people and bringing them into my office in Bend, Oregon. And of course, one of the questions is, what is the commission split? And what I have kindly told people is the commission split in our office is this, but it really doesn't matter unless you're able to convert on your leads. Unless you're able to convert buyers, unless you're able to convert those people looking to list. So conversion. Number 2 is learning to convert on your leads. So it's the same. It doesn't matter what the commission is. If you don't sell anything, the percentage of what you earn makes no difference. And in our business, it makes no difference how many leads you have if you're unable to convert them. Part of my job that I want to do for you, I want to help as much as possible, is to take those leads, those boomtown leads that Paul is handing to you, and be able to help Paul and to help you in converting those leads. Number 3 is using the systems for success. We're going to talk about systems, and I'm going to try to help you so you can use the systems we talk about for your success. Number 4, we're going to be improving your presentation skills. Touched on that just a little bit. I will ask you if you will do presentations for me, to me, and help you shape those presentations so they're better, using the tools that we are going to have with Tom Ferry. Number 5 is getting you organized. Good Lord, getting organized is so important. And there are powerful tools to get that done, and we're going to work on those. Number 6 is to help you improve your mental toughness. Listen, this can be a tough business. We all know that. We get a lot of no's. And if you're just new in the business and you haven't started talking to people, you're going to get a lot of no's. You've got to have mental toughness. I want to tell you a story about Bill Nasby. Some of you have no idea who Bill Nasby is. Some of you have heard of Bill Nasby. So I just want to touch on him for a second, because we're talking about mental toughness. And even for someone like Bill Nasby, who I'm about to talk about, it was a challenge. So Bill Nasby was in the RE/MAX organization for years and years. He was consistently a huge producer, $500,000 producer, when $500,000 really meant something. For years, the only system he used in his business was knocking doors. That's all he did. He knocked doors. Now, as a result of knocking doors, he was able to get listings and he was able to work with buyers, but his system was knocking doors. And he did it for 40 years consistently. Bill Nasby later came to exit. He met Steve Morris. Steve Morris said, I want you to be part of our company. I want to be around you, because the people that we surround ourselves with are who we will become if we work at it. So Bill Nasby came into exit. Bill Nasby passed away, I think, 3 years ago. I actually went through a 16-week training directly with Bill Nasby, and it was amazing. And so, but what Bill Nasby said, this is a guy who knocked doors every day for 40 years. He said, there were days when I would pull into a neighborhood. And by the way, the system was to go to any neighborhood, anywhere, park your car, get out, go to the door, knock the door, ask 5 questions, looking for buyers and sellers referrals. That's what he did for 40 years. But he said, I got to tell you, with the mental toughness, first of all, I had to love myself. I had to believe in myself. I had to love myself. But I got to tell you, there were times where I would park my car in a neighborhood, any neighborhood, get out of my car, and I would look down the street of the rows of houses. And there were times where I swear I couldn't see any doors. There were no doors. My mind told me that I should get back in my car and just leave. But I had to have the mental toughness to get out of my car, find a door, and knock the door. So our job is to help you improve on your mental toughness. Tom Ferry says that mental toughness is the ability to do my work with inspired action, regardless of what is going on around me. Listen, there's all kinds of distractions. Everywhere there's distraction. We have family, we have friends, we have weather, we have everything around us is a problem that can take away inspired action that we're doing. So we're going to work on your mental toughness. So Tom, at this point, the fourth part of this, Tom Ferry talks about the tools that you'll receive from him, the member section of Tom Ferry. Now, you can do this. You can actually join and be coached by Tom Ferry. I wouldn't do that right now. I think we're going to be able to offer you enough right now that you're going to have personal coaching right here in our office. I will work with you that you don't need to spend $1,000 a month with Tom Ferry. But if you did, you're going to get resources. But I want to tell you what to fill in right here, what to put in this blank. So, number one, the tools that you're going to receive after we're done today, I'm going to send all of you Tom's book. I'm going to send you a book that Tom wrote that was a New York Times bestseller. You're going to get Tom's book so you can look deeper into how he thinks, why he does what he does, and it will lead you to why we're going to do what we're going to do. Second of all, I'm going to provide you with Tom's scripts. Tom has a script book that if you were coached by Tom Ferry, I don't remember how many pages it is. I think it's two-sided, 87 pages. It's thick. And so I'm going to share with you all of Tom's scripts. I want to make sure that you never have the excuse that I didn't know what to say. I'm going to provide you with marketing tools throughout all of this. We're going to use some of Tom Ferry's tools, but I'm going to show you marketing tools that have worked. We're going to talk about the importance of doing videos and the importance and the ability for you to do podcasts and for you to do newsletters. We're going to talk about those things. I'm going to help you. We're going to talk about your presentations, your listing presentation, your buyer's presentation, your expired listing presentation. We're going to talk about lots of presentations. I'm going to help you with business ideas. I think that's number 5. I'm going to help you get some business ideas. We're going to talk, number 6, about expireds. On Tuesdays, number 7, every Tuesday at 10 o'clock is my day to be here on this same Zoom place to do scripts with you. And my goal is to provide you with scripts that you can use. And I'm going to approach it, as I mentioned before, in a manner of which not to embarrass anybody, but to give everybody the opportunity to speak and to share and to practice and to read and to reflect and to dissect scripts. It will help build you, but no one will ever be in a position that they're embarrassed. When I was in Bend, I don't know if they're here, I belonged to a gym. What the heck was it called? Purple Colors. But their motto was, you can work here without being embarrassed and without anybody judging you in a no judgment zone. If you're fat, come in. If you're really skinny, come in. No one's going to judge you here. And I'm taking the same approach with this. No one is going to judge us. No one is going to judge you. We're going to do this and we're going to work together to build it better. So every Tuesday, starting next Tuesday, we're going to be working on scripts. It's going to be on Zoom, completely on Zoom. You can be anywhere and you can join the scripts. I will share the scripts with you, but before I do that, I will send you Tom's whatever 87-page script book. I'm going to help you execute something I call the 12 plus 12 plus 24. Just write that down so you can ask me about it. The 12 plus 12 plus 24 as a way to get more business. I'm going to provide you with a guide for sale by owners. I'm going to help you with looking at different business opportunities. So as you can see, we got a lot to do. You're going to receive a lot of tools, and we have a lot to do. If you want to create a breakthrough, as Tom says, you have to follow through. I said that at the beginning, when you would normally quit. You can't quit. We've got to go through this together. And if you do, Tom's promise, when you purchase this program, which you could, and I'm not even sure how much it is. I think it's $500 or something. I don't even know. because I've been teaching it for so long and I bought it years ago, is to help you get through this so you don't quit. So shattering your glass ceiling. So I want you to look at this very closely, and you can see it says, what has stopped me? Circle below. Okay, so some of you are brand new, but maybe you can understand what we're going to be talking about with all of this. So here's some of the excuses that many realtors have. Number one, they don't have enough time. Number two, they have the lack of financial resources. With Tom Ferry's teaching that we're working on, Tom is going to teach you to work with what's called sweat equity. I've talked about this with a couple agents in our office. To work with sweat equity, okay, rather than check equity. There's two ways. You can write lots of checks. You can pay for leads. You can pay for presentations. You can pay for personal assistant. You can pay for so many things. My goal, Tom's goal with this training is to teach you to work with sweat equity as much as you possibly can. Number three, you're not sure what you do. You need more information. We're going to be a guide for you. We're going to help you know what you need and how to get information. Number four, the fear of looking bad and getting rejected. Listen, know that in 99% of all cases, when you're rejected by somebody, it's not because of you. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting what you may be offering. So we need to work harder on being able to offer something that won't be rejected. But you need to know that if you have a fear of looking bad and getting rejected, we have to get you over that. We'll get you over any fear of looking bad because we're going to show you systems that will make you be one of the best. And if you get rejected, it's not because of you, it's because of what you presented and someone not needing what you have, maybe right now. The next one is not being organized. Has that stopped you? The next one is haven't set goals and committed to them. There are so many statistics about having goals. And we're at this time of the year where people start writing down a couple goals, or they say, you know, this year I'm going to lose 60 pounds. This year, you know, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. What we're going to work on are setting goals and commit to them that you can reach. That we're going to give you the systems so you can reach them. Now, other things that might have stopped you is you don't have enough presence. You're new to the community. No one knows who you are. We're going to help you. Then there are things that have stopped you is you haven't gone to the Exit Corporate site to find the tools that help you. Maybe that stopped you. Maybe you haven't watched videos or done additional training or taken part in training or been on webinars, not webinars that won't help you, but webinars that can help you in the business. You know, the only constant in life is change. And so this is about helping you change. That's our goal for you. So what are the secret weapons to success? Let me tell you about Tom for just a second. This just thought of this. You know, Tom Ferry, super successful. I know he has a great family life and he has a great financial life, but Tom Ferry might be like you. He's kind of like me in one way, not that I'm anything near to the level of Tom Ferry, but he went to 5 different high schools when he was in high school. He went to 5 different high schools. And how it correlates to me, kinda, is he went to 5 different high schools, not because his family moved, but because he got kicked out of 5 different high schools because he was a terrible student. He had a terrible attitude. And so he can talk about that. In a lot of ways, I was much like that in high school. I was focused on something that had nothing to do with studying and with learning. And it took me away from high school. So he talks about attitude, and I think he knows something about it. He says that your attitude shows up between stimulus and response. Stimulus might be your client needs. You know, they'll tell you what they need. That's stimulus. They stimulate you and say, this is what I need. This is the kind of home I want. This is how many bedrooms I want. These are the needs for that. Your kids have needs. That's stimulus. When your kids say something, that's stimulus. When you need money, that's stimulus. You've got to, it shows up in your attitude. And how you respond to it is always a lesson learned, and learning the lesson to respond and move on. Number two, rate your attitude between 1 and 10. Rate your attitude between 1 and 10. Are you a 10? Are you full on? Do you have a fantastic attitude? Or are you 1? You're here today, so you're probably not a 1. You've taken the initiative to be here. You've taken the initiative to actually spend a lot of money and take a lot of time to get a real estate license. So I would guess that your attitude is more than 1 or 2 or 3. But how can we get you to 10? How can we do that? Number 3, the importance of powerful morning routines. What's your morning routine like? Is it, oh God, here it is. It's another morning. What is it? It's today's Thursday. Oh crap. I've got to get on this webinar with this Mazziotti guy. God, I really don't want to do this, but I committed to it. And so, well, I guess I'll do it. But first, I think I'm going to lay down for another 15 minutes. So what's your morning routine? And we're going to look at how you can improve on your morning routine to turn your business into something phenomenal. I want you to write the 2 disciplines Tom wants you to take. I'll tell you, and then I want you to write them down. Write down the 2 disciplines Tom wants you to take on. First, he wants you to write out things that you are grateful for. Yeah, and even he says, I know in his presentation, he says, oh God, more mumble jumbo. I got to write down those things, and I'll write down things I'm grateful, but write them with intent. Write down those things every day that you're grateful for. We're going to work on this. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to send you a copy of the book today in digital form. And I'm also going to send you another presentation that helps you write daily affirmations, daily gratitude statements, and reviewing daily goals. It's something that Tom Ferry wrote, and I added to it. So, it's a combination of Tom's disciplines and my discipline. So the 2 disciplines he wants you to take is to write out things every day, 10 of them that you're grateful for, 5 of them if you can only think of 5. And B, he's going to also talk about that every day you write out your financial goals. Now, you're thinking, well, I have that. I wrote it down, a month ago, but write them down every day. Know what your financial goal is so you can focus on it. So gratitude is A, financial goals is B. So next, write down what you want to earn in the next 12 months. We work together, and I hope we do. I'm offering you my availability to work with you with accountability meetings. Talk more about this on next sessions. I'll work with you one-on-one to help you with this business and with Tom Ferry. Okay, but what do you want to earn in the next 12 months? Do you even know? I told you what you can earn. If you sell 5 transactions in Frisco every year, you're probably going to make around $50,000. So now, if you're new and you had no idea, what can I earn in this business? 5 transactions in Frisco, $50,000. Obviously, 10 is $100,000. It depends where your market is, what the price is of the homes. So Tom wants you to write down what you want to earn in the next 12 months. Write it down right now. Okay, you wrote it down, what you want to earn. Now he wants you to double that number because many of us can't think beyond the normal, the usual, what others normally make. Take your number and double it. Write that right now. Okay, next with affirmations. Some of you don't know what affirmations are. Affirmation are positive statements said in a way that you've already got them. So an affirmation can be, I attract blank and everything I do creates a perfect result. Okay, I attract all the transactions that I can handle and everything I do creates a perfect result. It could be, I attract the very best clients and everything I do creates a perfect result. It can be, I am powerful, I am strong, and I am headed into the best year of my career. Steve Morris, the founder of our company, is probably the #1 guru of writing down affirmations. So write them down, daily grateful affirmations and goals, and writing down your financial goal every day. I'm going to move quickly because I keep these to 1 hour. The cycle of a business. And it's kind of like the bell curve, but there's startup and then you grow and you grow and now you've got cash, but sometimes you fade and then you have to start over again. This is the normal business cycle of most realtors. Oh, geez, I'm starting. Oh my gosh, I got a transaction. Yes, baby, I got a deal. I got another one. Oh, look at this. I've got money. Well, I think I'll not work on things today and maybe I'll just, goof off, do something. Oh my God, I'm fading. I better get back on the boat. I better get this. And then they restructure and do it again. Unfortunately, at startup, at this point, we've talked about these numbers before, but this is usually your first 3 to 5 years where you're building in this way until you get into a cycle where you're having a straight line where it's constant, where thriving growth is constant and there's not a fading winner. You're staying constant. The startup usually takes 3 to 5 years and 87% of us that are new are going to fail. 87% of us on this call today will not be there unless we take actions to be successful. That's scary. So are you going to be a flatliner? Are you somebody or somebody that's going to take your business to the next level? Tom talks about growth comes from consistent, systematic, relevant lead generation and great conversation. All right. When planning, who do I connect with? Every day, Tom suggests that you have an hour of power. 1 hour a day where you focus on your business. Just 1 hour. Just 1 hour. What if you do 2 or 3? But these are the people you need to connect with. First of all, you have to have the people in the database. You have to have them written down. But every day, the people you know, your past leads. If you don't have any leads, go back to people you know, your past database. If you don't have your past database, go back to people that you know. Meet more people, your drip campaigns. No, we're not going to do land voice. That's a system that Tom Ferry does, but people in your CRM, in your database. So I'm asking you today at the very minimum to commit to an hour of power every day. 1 hour, a scheduled block of time where you're talking to people. Talking to people. What statistics have proven in our business is for every 50 people that you talk to, there is probably a closed transaction in your future. 1 in 50. Talk to 50 people, 1 transaction. So no excuses. You've got to do this now, every single day. We're going to talk about where your business comes from. And here's the list that is in the presentation as well. You can look closely at your business. We have to look closely at your business. And if you're new and you have no business, we need to build on all of this so you can build your business. We can talk about last year's transactions and your goal for this year's transactions. I will work with each of you so we can set the goal for this year's transactions using all the elements that are here, all these elements that are here. So here's the action steps that I want you to take for this week. And we're going to meet next Thursday the same way. With the COVID deal, I'm probably going to do it strictly online next week. So I don't take a chance of anyone. While I don't have any COVID symptoms, I don't want to bring anything into the office that might hurt someone. There's no way. So this is your assignment. First of all, congratulate yourself on starting the program. You're here. I'm glad you're here. Number 2, choose to be at level 10 every day. Get out of bed, wake up, have a goal for the day. Remember, no one here wears shoes. Number 3, schedule an hour of power every single workday, whatever your work days are. Some of you are working part-time jobs and moving into this business. Whatever it is, figure it out. Complete the where did my business come from sheet, this right here. And if you haven't done any business, we'll work to help you build that sheet. Write your daily grateful list and work on your affirmation in your journal. What I'm going to send you today is a 30-day plan for you to write down your gratitude, affirmations, and goals with the 30 days. I call it 30 days of visualization. Okay. Now I'm going to add a couple more. Start reading Mindset, Model, and Marketing, the digital book I'm going to send you. You don't even have to buy the book. I'm going to send it to you. And then highlight those things that you would like to bring back to our group. Mindset, Model, and Marketing. I'm going to be sending it to you. And then last, plan on attending our weekly role play classes. Attend those. Let's build this together. I have a script book that is probably 5 inches thick. All the pages are dog-eared. They're highlighted, they're ripped, they're torn, but I've kept them over the course of 30 years that I've been in the business, and I want to share them all with you. All right, so does anybody have any quick questions? We're right at the top of the hour. Anything that I can answer? Open up, I'm ready to answer anything.
Are we going to be meeting, Mr. Mazziotti? Are we going to be meeting on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Because you mentioned something about Thursday.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Verona. Verona is actually a real estate agent, licensed in
New Jersey.
In New Jersey, not with our office, but I invited her to come. I'm so glad you're here. Thursdays are for Breakthrough by Design at 10 o'clock. We will be doing this class every Thursday for 10 weeks. On Tuesdays, if you come to the same Zoom number, you will be able to take part in our scripts. So I'm two hours a week, 1 hour on Thursdays, 1 hour on Tuesday for scripts. Okay, does that answer your question?
Well, because I teach a class, so I was wondering if you could tape it then, because I'm not going to be able to do Thursdays. The kids are out the classroom on Tuesday, so I could do that. But on Thursdays, that's actually my class day.
Yep, I will record them all. So I'm going to assign Mike an assignment. Mike, are you going to be on the calls each Thursday? So Mike has one job to do for me on Thursdays, and that's to remind me to hit the record button. Mike, that's your job.
I can do that.
That's your job, to hit the record button. So anybody that can't be here can watch the replay. Okay, we certainly can do that. Anything else? Any other questions that anybody might have? Or any thoughts, any comments? I'd love to hear any comments or thoughts. Do you think this might help you? Do you think this is something that will help you in your business to build it and to grow it? It's maybe something that you need. Anyone? You're so quiet.
I went, I'll share something. I went a week before last, and I'm kind of social and I talk to people a lot that I don't know for some reason. My wife gets annoyed. But I was driving home from the South Lake office to Keller, and then there was an accident or something. So there was a bunch of traffic when I got to, 10 minutes from my house. So I stopped over by Teller Town Square and just went in and had a beer. I ended up walking out of there with 3 business cards, and there was like maybe 5 people in there. But I got a contractor, a roofer, and a mortgage broker, just by sitting there for probably less than an hour. So sometimes stuff like that, just
Of course.
stopping at the little, little coffee shop or bar or something, just or whatever on the way home, and spending less than an hour, it's easy to meet people.
So the key for Mike, I think, is to find a way to stay in touch with those 3 people.
Mhm.
Call those people if you can.
I actually text all of them and said, hey, it was great to meet you. They all responded. 2 of them said, yeah, when we're looking for, when I run into people looking for, real estate needs, I'll make sure to keep you in mind.
So 50 people equals 1 transaction.
Mhm.
You know, Mike, that you're going to get a transaction from these people. From this
Absolutely.
It's the key who you talk to. Yeah, I drive my wife crazy when I'm at a restaurant and I have a great person, waitress or whomever might be working the table. If they're good, I usually say, have you ever considered a career in real estate?
Mhm.
Because the kind of service you're providing me is what you should be providing people who are looking to purchase the most expensive thing in their life.
Yeah.
I think you're the right person. I'd love to talk to you. So it's about converting those conversations into something. And of course, at Exit, we have a unique ability to sponsor people and turn additional income. So we have a pathway for us that others don't have. Yeah, great, Mike. I'm so glad that you're here. Anyone else? I know we're over, but if you need to go, please feel free to go. But if there's anyone that has a comment or a question about Tom Ferry or this class, I'll answer it. Shoot.
I wanted to know what Mike said when he handed the people that he gave his business cards. What did he say to get their business cards to them?
I honestly didn't even offer my business card. We were just having a conversation and then talking, and what do you do? This is what I do. Oh, great. And then I said, may I have one of your cards? So I asked for their card, and then I sent them a digital card, and then, a little text message.
Oh, so you just
Yeah.
struck up a conversation with them.
Yeah. And I asked for permission to, can I text you later when I get home or whatever. And they all were, please do. They wanted my information. So
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thanks for sharing.
yeah, of course.
And I also want to welcome Terry, who's a licensed agent in Texas. I'm glad you're here. And we've had a conversation before. So thank you, Terry, for being here.
Thank you.
Glad you're here. Anyone else? There's nothing else? Go ahead.
I have a question, Jim. Sorry. So the you said something about downloading, I guess, the information that you shared, that you presented today.
Mhm.
Is that somewhere within this, I guess, this session?
Yeah, so the workbook that I used today, that was on the screen.
Mhm.
Who am I talking to? I can only see it.
This is Terry. Sorry, this is Terry.
Terry, did you get my email?
No, I did not.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think you have my email address.
Well, let's see. I want you to text me your, sorry, everybody.
I think I did email it to him, Terry.
Okay.
Just
All right. I haven't
text me
received
your
anything.
email address, but I can get it to you. So text me, say I need it, and I'll get it to you. The rest of you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. The rest of you should have gotten my workbook attached to the email. It's also on our Exit agent site, so you can get it there. Did everybody else get my workbook? Have access to it, see it? Very bottom of my email, it's there. So, okay, if you didn't, just text me 541-480-8835. Text me. I'll give it to you. Promise. I'll do it right away. Okay. Thank you for telling me that, Terry. Appreciate it. Anything else? Okay. I think we've exhausted everything today. If you think this was of any value, will you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? I better not see any thumbs down. I'll feel a little bad. Thank you so much for doing this, everyone. Appreciate that you're with me. And
thank you so much.
we'll talk soon, huh? See you next week.